How is it going, everybody? We have to talk about a pretty hilarious Stellar Blade update that's going a little bit viral right now. Now, Stellar Blade is a game that I'm very excited for. I was already excited for this game when we initially started seeing some content for the game. I was like, wow, this game looks pretty good. It's a brand new IP. It's coming from a lesser-known studio in Shift Up. Hopefully, this will be a good game to put them on the map. And then we got the gameplay trailer and the release date announcement trailer earlier this year, and I thought that trailer was just expertly done. I thought it was incredibly well done. And I thought it got a lot of people excited for the game that maybe had some interest in the game, but really took that interest to an overdrive, especially with the game coming out so shortly. Also, we had talked about the fact that there was a demo that is scheduled to be released. Now, I believe that demo is still scheduled to be released. However, it looks like somebody pressed the button a little bit too quickly, as the demo did go live. And a lot of people were already able to play it. Now, if you were able to download it, PlayStation did something where they limited access to it and you're not allowed to get on it. I'm sure if you, disconnected your PS5 from the internet, maybe you could get on it. I don't know. The fact is, you can't readily play the demo anymore. However, some people already got to try it out, and let's just say there's some clips being circulated online. So, Stellar Blade is going to have a variety of different cosmetics and costumes. Now, it was initially noted that these cosmetics and costumes were going to be just that, cosmetics. However, there is one specific cosmetic that is noted over on Automaton Media that is being talked about, and a lot of people have brought this up, and that is Eve's skin suit, and obviously that went viral. Let's just say aesthetically, it's a fairly well-designed cosmetic, so to speak, but it's not only just a cosmetic, it actually is a little bit of a higher difficulty enabler for the game, as the skin suit is an exception to the rule of just being a cosmetic. Not only will it be potentially a pleasing sight for your eyes, it will also make the game more difficult, as it will disable your shield when equipped, essentially rendering you defenseless in the game. The suggestion is that Stellar Blade, with this skin suit enabled, would be a harder challenging mode. I don't know if the game is going to have difficulties right out the gate, or if this is their way to implement a difficulty. But I find this is a way to cleverly implement something like this. Even if they have difficulty options, something like a skin suit, which is going to be, for many people, pleasing to the eyes and something that they're going to want to equip. But at the same time, if you want to do that, if you want to take advantage of some eye candy, so to speak, you're gonna get a more difficult game to go along with it. So I actually think that's fairly clever. I don't really know, because I try to stay out of this sector of social media, if people are really making a big deal over some of the aspects of Stellar Blade. I don't know if people really have if they're up in arms over the fact that Stellar Blade has an attractive main character. I really don't think that's the case, but let's just say, based on the fact that in my comment section, which I do try to keep track of my comment section, people do seem to rage about it in sense of other people talking about, oh, this game, it's doing all the wrong things, that apparently there are other people that feel a certain type of way about Stellar Blade, about it having an attractive main character, maybe the game pushing the gaming medium in a certain way, which I just think is nonsensical. But I guess I will dip my toes into this gasoline, which I might regret in the future. But I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If that rhetoric actually exists, which if it does exist, I really do feel like it's a small minority, and I do believe that it might just be people trolling. I've talked about this before, but really, how you really do effective trolling is you say things stupid enough that'll get people upset, but at the same time, there is a grain of understanding from other people of where you're coming from, so they don't know you're trolling. That's how you do really effective trolling. Look, if you just go crazy with your trolling and you just say nonsensical things, everybody's gonna know that you're trolling. The art of trolling comes when they don't know that you're trolling and they think you're being serious, and that'll get them even more upset. That's how you be a really good troll and an effective troll, if that's what you're trying to do. You just spew craziness, you're not being an effective troll. I think some of the most effective trolls on X and Twitter are some of like the console fanboys, for example. Like some of the crazy ones, I'm just like, yo, these people are crazy, and I'm sure it gets even wilder in like the political sector and things like that. Try to stay out of that. You know, life's hard as it is. I don't need that content in my brain all the time. But in the case of Stellar Blade, okay, I do think it's a lot of trolling. I do think it's a lot of people just fishing for engagement. But if people genuinely feel that way, like, it's really not that big of a deal. So what? The game has an attractive main character. So what? It might be a little bit sexualized. It's not the end of the world, and it's not like that is the only selling point for the game. You want to see games that's the selling point for the game? You open up Steam, you look at the new releases, and that'll give you guys something to complain about. Obviously, Stellar Blade is a game that's a big budget AAA title, and guess what? The fact that it is already, it looks to be a competent and well-designed action RPG, that's what's actually drawing people in. Because those Steam titles, yeah, people will meme on them, but then they move on. Stellar Blade, outside of it having an attractive main character, which, by the way, isn't exclusive to Stellar Blade. I don't swing that way, but if you guys look at some of the games we play with male characters as main characters, like, just look at them. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out there. Like, look at Final Fantasy 16 and Clive. I'm just saying, you guys. Like, this ain't like this is the first time this is happening. And again, I think people just get way too up in arms about something that is so small. I felt the same way when people were like, oh my god, Aloy's so ugly in Horizon. For like, who cares? It's not that big of a deal. We just want a good game, and at the end of the day, that is what we are going to assess the game on. Eve being attractive is not going to make or break this game in terms of our enjoyment of the game. I really don't believe that's the case. Yeah, well, it maybe be a promotional vehicle to sell a few more copies. Sure, have at it. Go for it. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, the gameplay fundamentals do have to be good, and with Stellar Blade, based on what I'm seeing, the gameplay fundamentals do look quite good. Look, this is a game that's been revealed for quite a long time, and we've known about it for a while, and it would have been one thing if people were excited about the game all the time, and I know some people were, but I really feel like that excitement went into overdrive when people saw the gameplay, when people were like, wow, attractive main character aside, this looks like a fundamentally well-made action RPG, and I think people are going to get that. So that's my 2 cents on that. I try not to get into the drama side, and I do know it exists to an extent for Stellar Blade with the nature of the game, if you want to even say that quote-unquote nature of the game. I think it's people trolling. I personally think a lot of this stuff is people farming engagement. That's what that's not just exclusive to Stellar Blade, by the way. That's I think for a lot of things, and even beyond gaming, if you guys follow like sports or anything like that, I truly believe people just say crazy things that are somewhat believable to farm for engagement. And in the back of their mind, they might not be thinking of the word trolling, but they're like, oh, this is a spicy tweet that'll get some engagement. That's what I really believe it is. I don't think a lot of that stuff is the author's true feelings, but I might be wrong about that. Maybe I'm giving humanity too much credit, and at the same token, saying what I'm saying is giving humanity less credit because they're also falling for these bait takes, but at the same time, it's kind of hard not to fall for these bait takes if you just think they're the other person is being genuine. Honestly, it's probably just me giving society too much credit and humanity too much credit. I don't know, but I'd like to give humanity a lot more credit than people seem to do, and people might think that's the wrong direction to go. But that's my personal take as far as some of these weird takes we'll see online. I just think they're engagement farming. But even if some of that is true, so what? Like, nobody cares to that extent. Yeah, people will meme about it online. People might get their jimmies in a twist for a little bit, but life goes on. Enjoy the game for what it is. And if you think the main character's attractive, more power to you. It's not harming anybody, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be perfectly honest, and I think most of you guys agree with me on that. Although, I will add, back to the original point of the video, the skin suit, I think the way that they're implementing that into the game and actually making it an element to be more difficult, I find that to be a hilarious tongue-in-cheek nod to the game that, oh, if you do want to use the skin suit, we're gonna make the game a little bit difficult for you. I think that's fantastic. That's exactly them knowing a component of the game, knowing an element of their audience, and doing something tongue-in-cheek to have some fun with it. I actually really like that, and again, that spurs on that natural online discourse of people talking. It doesn't have to be just a Helldivers 2 live service game. Something like this, I think, is a small thing added to the game that they could have just done the skin suit as it is and just make it a cosmetic item, but no, they added a fun twist to it, and I actually quite appreciate that. That's thinking outside the box a little bit, and I don't know if the skin suit also has some sort of advantage attached to it, but I do know the fact it strips away your shield, that's quite humorous, in my humble opinion. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.